Okay, this is the piece of fabric that you're going to pleat from our project, the Smocked Embroidered Case from the spring 2009 issue. And this is an Amanda Jane super pleater, and in the instructions it's 12 full spaces, and I've put in 24 needles because the super pleater has half spaces, and that'll help hold the pleat in the fabric, and it gives you an extra guideline when you smock. So you roll your fabric on a on an 18-inch dowel, at least 18 inches. 12 to 18 inches is good, but 18 inches is better. So roll your fabric loosely. It doesn't really matter if it's straight or, just do your best to roll it on there, but it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to guide the fabric through the pleater, not the dowel. So you're going to line it up on the edge, and in the instructions you're to mark the center point of the fabric, and the center point goes to space 12 on your pleater. Line it up, catch the back of it nice and straight, make sure that you keep your fabric taut as you are pleating, and then you simply just roll it through. And you start to roll. Just make sure, take your time. This isn't pleating, you don't do it so fast that you can just roll it through like very quickly, because then you'll get creases and it won't come out very pretty. So you just take your time really slow until you start getting a few pleats on the needles. And once you get a few pleats on the needles, you just pull this a little bit, make sure it's taut, keep it nice and taut back through there. You just come to the front and you're going to start pulling the pleats down. And you want to make sure that your pleats are nice and straight. And so you're just going to take these and pull them off the needles. Be careful while you're doing it. Don't rush to get them off the needles or try and do it very quickly. It would help too, and we're getting ready to do this, if you put your pleater on a board and you have it secured to a board, a thread caddy would also help, and we'll show that in our next video. And that's it. You're gonna continue on doing a few pleats at a time, making sure that your dowel stays nice and your fabric on your dowel stays nice and taut. There you go. You have a few more. You pull them down just like that, and you're simply going to do this with the whole piece of fabric, and we'll show what that looks like in just a minute when we get it all through. And you just pull them off just like this, really carefully. And then again, hold your fabric nice and taut. Watch over here on the side. Make sure you're not putting creases in it. And you put a few pleats on, and then you pull them down. And we'll be right back and show you what it looks like. Okay, for this project, we want to square it off or block it off to 7.5 inches, and that's how I figured it out. This was my own project, and it was the first one that I had made all by myself. So I did what I didn't follow anything except my own little pattern. So I took a ruler, and what you want to do is, after you get your fabric out of the pleater, you want to tie off these ends right here, and I tie them off in threes. You're going to have all of your threads out, and you're going to tie them off. You're going to grab 3, and then you're going to grab 3, and then you're going to tie them, or 2 and 2, but I would do 3, because what's going to happen is if you just do, so that would be 6, total, 3 and 3. Grab them and tie them together. You don't want them to slip back through when you're pulling your fabric together. And then you do the same thing on the other side over here. What I did was I grabbed 3 and 3, and I pulled it until I had 7.5 inches of pleat. And then you'll distribute the pleats, and then when you smock it, it will, it'll all come together nicely. But I did 7.5 inches, that's what I pulled it to, and I've already done the first 3 over here, and then you'll grab the next 6, let's just say 6, okay, but you're grabbing 3 and 3, And if one of your threads gets pulled back under, you know, if it gets through and you're like, oh no, just grab a needle, grab one of your long needles, one of your embroidery needles, one just like this, you know, a nice long one, and pull it through. This is a size 5, I think, a size 5 smocking needle. I think it's size 5 anyway. You know, just thread it, and the holes are already there from the pleater, so just go ahead and pull your thread back through. Follow the holes and pull it back through. Not a big deal. Don't get panicky if your threads actually go through. It's a little time consuming if they go through, so make sure when you thread your pleater that the thread is long enough so it won't go back through. Then you grab 3 and 3 and you're going to do the same thing. Keep your ruler handy and you're just going to pull it. See, you pull it together like this. Give it a little tie off. It takes a little bit of time and a little bit of patience to get it all tied off correctly, and sometimes it might take more than just your hands. You might have to get your husband or one of your helpful little ones and have them hold that fabric for you as you tie it. And I actually am going to need help tying it, so I'm just going to finish explaining it just like that. And that's how you get that piece smocked for the embroidered sewing case that we have in our spring '09 issue.